What's going on, everybody? Hit that sub button for your boy. Listen, she lost her land for $10. Forged deed fights in Texas. Man, I done heard it all, bro. Now, this video is going to piss you off, especially if you're an African-American person, especially if you're someone who's aspiring to own a home or anything of that nature. It just shows you how evil and corrupt the system can be and how little service they can offer you once things do go left. So let's get into it, man. Hit that sub button.
Texas woman is suing an Austin developer who she says illegally obtained her property after someone forged her signature. Now there are two new homes where her grandmother's house once stood.
It's another example of a much bigger problem in Texas real estate, one the KV defenders have been digging into. Here's investigative reporter Jenny Lee.
Shannon Pleasant contacted the KV defenders after seeing our investigation into how a Central Texas family lost the land in what they call an illegal land grab. Now she's in a legal fight trying to keep her family property she inherited. Even though she moved away,
my heart is in Austin.
Shannon Pleasant still considers the capital city home.
The majority of my family is still here.
We visited Shannon in an East Austin neighborhood where her grandmother once lived.
I'm the oldest grandchild, and if I were to brag, I'd say I was the favorite grandchild.
You know what's funny? East Austin, Texas is probably expensive, and since I'm looking at black people, I'm going to assume that's where most black people probably live in the city, or at the very least, it's a high concentration of African-American people over there. With that being said, bro, I already know this is probably going to be because she is black, and I'm going to tell you why. If you was going to do something like this, you're not going to do this to people that got money. You're going to do this to people you feel like you could take advantage of. People who you feel like don't have legal representation or not going to have people to come fight for them. You're going to do this to them. You're never going to go and play with somebody's property that's worth $1 million. And then you're going to try to do this shit because people with $1 million properties going to come with $1 million problems. So you want to go and take advantage of someone. And I'm looking at the real estate over here right now. You can tell it's a lot of gentrification going on in this area. Let me move this over. Look at this right here. I see 1 million, 475, 825. You're looking at some good property out here. Austin is a very expensive market. It's not a cheap market, man. I just want to go ahead on and put that out there for y'all. So yeah, this was predatory. I can tell you that off the bat.
Miller left her East Austin home to Shannon. The deed showing the transfer was filed in 2008.
What did that mean to you?
It meant that she thought enough of me, and she thought that I was responsible, and I saw it as something as carrying her wishes on through the next generations.
Alfredia died in 2017. Over the years, the home on Cooman Avenue remained unchanged until 2024, when Shannon's family noticed new construction on the property and her grandmother's home gone.
I got a text message from my uncle. And he said, "Why did you sell the property?" And I called him back and I said, "What are you talking about?"
Shannon immediately checked the Travis Central Appraisal District website and discovered someone else claimed to own 2907 Cooman Avenue.
I was livid, number one, in disbelief.
Shannon also discovered a deed that showed the land her grandmother left her was sold in 2023 for $10.
$10? 10 whole dollars, bro. $10. You know what's interesting about this, though? All of this got to be so damn fake because, man, when you're dealing with real estate, bro, you got to get notaries involved. You have to have witnesses to see the signatures get signed. It's so much red tape you have to go through. So whoever did this, they definitely have some intricate shit and knowledge of how this goes for it to go unseen for this long. They have to know what they're doing.
The document had Shannon's signature, but Shannon says she didn't sign anything.
My signature was forged, of course, and I didn't sell this property for $10.
She filed a lawsuit in June of 2024, naming several people and businesses listed as recent owners on TCAD. Appraisal district records show a confusing history of events, with the property switching hands numerous times since Shannon's grandmother gave it to her.
Crazy.
Most recently, TCAD shows Brian Taylor bought the property on March 1st, 2023, and on the same day sold it to Rexwell Development. On July 31st, TCAD showed Shannon selling the property to Rexwell. On August 23rd, Rexwell sold it to New Wave Solutions. That same day, TCAT shows New Wave sold the property to Two Greer Brothers LLC.
Just didn't understand how
I wouldn't be surprised if they are the owners of all of those corporations. I would not be surprised. You know what I'm saying? They doing all this daisy chain shit. I would not be surprised. They do this kind of stuff.
something like this could happen.
According to the City of Austin, Guardian Custom Builders LLC received demolition and building permits for 2907 Cooman Avenue. Founder and CEO, Jeff Greer. The same name and address appear on state records for Two Greer Brothers LLC. We reached out to Greer several times, but got no response. The suit contends the defendants, through unlawful means, conspired to convert the property from Shannon. Bryant Taylor and New Wave Solutions were dropped from the lawsuit early this year. 2 weeks later, the judge issued a default judgment against Two Greer Brothers because the defendants have failed to appear or file an answer.
None of them were showing up for the hearings.
The judge's ruling put 2907 Cooman Avenue back in Shannon's name. In March, Shannon says she called Austin police to accompany her as she had the locks changed. The KB defenders obtained this officer body cam footage through an open records request.
You're Jeff Greer?
I am.
She says that's when she met Jeff Greer, the developer behind Two Greer Brothers and Guardian Custom Builders.
Y'all want to show up now that the police are there changing the locks and all of that kind of stuff, but when y'all was receiving this paperwork to bring y'all ass to court, y'all was nowhere to be found. Straight crickets. But now that they trying to reclaim the property, conveniently enough, y'all just show up out of nowhere like cockroaches when you turn the light on. Bro, ain't that a bitch? This some crazy shit, man. And I'm telling you, they target areas of color for this very reason, because they assume you ain't gonna fight or you don't have the means to fight.
Greer tells an officer he didn't know about the lawsuit.
This is the first I've ever heard about any of this.
At one point, an officer had to move Shannon away from Greer.
She wouldn't tell me what they were here for. I asked at this
You had
situation.
forged my name and said that.
How?
You know what?
Hey, listen.
How could I go in there? No coming.
The body cam footage shows Greer telling officers that the property is his and wondering why police were called.
Why were you guys called here is what I don't understand.
It came out like a criminal trespass. That's how it came
Oh, they
out.
said that was trespassing?
That's how the call came out as a criminal trespass. So
Wait, I'm trespassing on a property I stole from this black family? This some bullshit right here, man. This is some bullshit.
that's why we got here. Otherwise, this would be constable dealing with all these stuff, civil matter. So I don't really have
Yeah, how
much.
can I trespass on my own property?
A property that you stole may have not known that you stole it, but it's been stolen, sir.
You see, because they have that court order.
She showed you documentation?
Yeah.
It's falsified.
Police sided with Shannon.
But as of right now, it's going to stay. That's my point. Yeah, as of right now, there's no argument to that.
But Shannon's court victory was temporary. In April, the judge granted a new trial because Two Greer Brothers stated it never received notice of this suit or the resulting default judgment until March 27th. While New Wave Solutions LLC was dropped from Shannon's lawsuit, it is still being sued by Kelly Alexander. In July, we reported the Alexander family sued New Wave and Precise Custom Homes, claiming the two companies illegally demolished their grandmother's home that was right here at 118 Kimball Lane in East Austin, despite county records showing that property in the Alexander family name. So how big of an issue is?
Man, this is some crazy shit right here, bro. This is some crazy shit. I bet you they trying to sell those houses for like $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. I bet you they are. They just want to flip it. They doing that gentrification shit. That's what it is. Taking these properties for pennies on the dollar, putting some money into them and flipping them for insane profits. That's what they do. Straight up. I mean, you can't knock the hustle, but at the same time, acquire the property the right way. Find a person who actually wants to willingly sell you their property and go about it that way. Don't forge nobody's signature.
Is deed fraud in Texas?
It has been on a growing trend for a few years.
Brian Pittman is the CEO of Independence Title. His company is not involved in Shannon's case, but he says while real estate fraud is not new, artificial intelligence is making it easier to falsify deeds and fake signatures.
Especially with AI now, they can replicate signatures of existing notaries, replicate notary stamps from people and place them on documents. We've even had situations where they have used legitimate notaries seal and signature and placed it on a document. And then when you contact the notary, they'll say, oh, I never did this.
The surge in fraud led Pittman to launch new training for law enforcement so investigators know what to watch out for.
Senate Bill 1734 addresses the growing issue of deed fraud.
During the regular legislative session last spring, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 1734. As of September 1st, SB 1734 gives property owners a faster and cheaper way to fight back if someone files a fake deed.
Right. Tens of thousands of dollars, yes.
The new law doesn't help Shannon, who is already out a lot of money due to the ongoing legal battle. Her mission now is to help others.
If you're not checking on your property, it can be stolen from you.
So no one else has to go through the same long and expensive journey. Austin police confirmed they are investigating Shannon's case, but couldn't comment. Now, during the second special session, lawmakers also passed Senate Bill 16. It stiffens criminal penalties for deed fraud and gives property owners greater protection. Title experts say to avoid deed fraud, property owners should monitor property records regularly, especially if you don't live there. We have more information and tips for how to protect yourself with this story on KV.com. For the KV.
Say, bro, y'all know what's crazy? Me personally, I'd do this if I was up. I would have done this, first of all. I would have gone to the first chink in the armor, which is going to be the first person that sold the property. After it was given to me, I want to see the transfer, the very next transfer. I'm finding the people involved in that transaction popping up on, hey, man, you know me? Man, you got to remember the person who signed the signature for you to buy this property. You got to know me. I wouldn't tell them who I am. I'm just like, hey, man, how you been? They gonna be looking at me like a damn deer in headlights. See, this person doesn't know me. Straight up, I'm gathering evidence, dog. But, man, I know how crash out I could be at times, though. I probably burn the whole damn property down, bro. But it's crazy how they mess over black people like this, dog. Usually this is either going to be people of color or really, really elderly people in general. But for the most part, I'm going to assume they're going to go after the people who can easily be victimized. I looked at a couple of ways black people have had their property stolen from them, and it says this on Perplexity. African Americans have had their property and land stolen through a combination of discriminatory legal systems, economic exploitation, violence, and government policies. These methods were widespread and caused the loss of millions of acres and substantial generational wealth. See, that's the important thing they have to understand, too. The grandmother had to buy that property probably through means of busting her ass and paying for it with cash, because that's a predominantly African-American side of town, which more than likely means that shit was redlined at a point. Matter of fact, let's draw up this. See, I like to do this type of shit. Matter of fact, let's do this. Red line map of Austin, Texas. You know what? Let's do it this way. Was East Austin, Texas redlined at some point? Yes. Guys, see, this is the shit I be talking about. Yes, East Austin was redlined, a practice that began in the 1930s and was later cemented by the construction of Interstate 35. There's always an interstate driving through the black neighborhoods, which created a physical and economic divide between East and West Austin. I say all that to say this. More than likely, that black woman who donated, who gave that house to her granddaughter had to bust her ass for that property because she couldn't go and get a loan like her white counterparts, bro. And for somebody white to come along decades later just to steal it, you just stole generational wealth from an African-American family. Your ass should be, that's high treason right there, man. You should be beheaded. Boy, this is messed up. I'm not laughing because it's something to laugh at. It's just like, damn, y'all be messing over people. You know what I'm saying? Legal exploitation, partition sales. Unscrupulous buyers use legal loopholes where black families did not process formal wills, making heirs' property vulnerable. Courts could order a forced sale, splitting land between many heirs and letting speculators buy at low prices. See how they do, black people? Tax sales. Local governments raise property taxes with inflated appraisals or targeted black farmers for unpaid taxes, causing them to forfeit property. These parcels were then sold to white buyers for below market value. Eminent domain. See, they love that eminent domain shit. Government sees black-owned land under the guise of public projects, often for developments that never materialize. This is some crazy shit, y'all. It's always a barrier. It's always a hindrance, a roadblock, or something for African Americans to just try to achieve the goddamn American dream. It's crazy to me, man. This is somebody's mother. This is somebody's grandchild. This is... You bust your ass your whole life and like, man, I'm gonna leave this to my grandkids, and then this happens, man. Crazy work, man. Anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one.